publicly traded companies is good.
Yeah, okay.
So just quickly introduce yourselves and your title, your name, all that stuff.
Okay, my name is Nathan Day. I'm the Chief Scientist and one of the co-founders of SoftLayer Technologies.
Okay, nice to meet you. It's great to be here at Structure and enjoying some of this sunny, well, not so sunny San Francisco weather. So you guys having a good time here? Is it a good conference?
This is a great conference. It's really a good meeting of the industry thought leaders, and so I'm having a good time doing a lot of networking, both listening to what's going on stage, but what's really most interesting is what's going on off stage, and the conversations I'm having in the hallway, meetings with potential customers, meeting with vendors, partners. It's a great show for that.
Great. So tell me what you guys are doing. What's going on? I think there's some, as you mentioned, there's some new products, a new release.
So something SoftLayer's been good at since our inception is we have been very good at managing the x86 server inside the data center and being able to take that x86 server and transform it into different uses and deliver that to our customer in an on-demand fashion. So if a customer wants a server with a simple OS on it, we use automation to deliver that to them in a couple hours. If they want a server with a hypervisor on board, same thing, no problem. Or we can turn that into a cloud virtual machine so that our customers can enjoy the benefits of being in the cloud.
Okay.
So what we've done is we've taken this control over that dedicated server and our ability to provision different OSs, different workloads, that physical machine, and we're trying to capture the imagination of what's going on now with enterprises wanting their own private cloud, where they want to have all of the advantages of what goes on in the public cloud, but they want to have that completely under their own control. A lot of it in private cloud you hear about these days is being talked about where a enterprise or a business will go acquire the hardware, networking gear, colo space, data center space, what have you, and layer on cloud orchestration software like CloudStack, Eucalyptus, vCloud, Nebula. There's a variety of them out there. And that way they can do their service delivery in a cloud-like manner, and the customers of the IT department can enjoy all the benefits of cloud. Except one, actually. Mm-hmm. So if you're running your own cloud and you're owning your own infrastructure for that, you're responsible for the availability of extra resources for scaling. If you want to scale out, scale up, you have to actually acquire the space in the data center, you have to acquire the power, you have to acquire the physical networking gear, the physical servers. That's not very cloud-like, at least not in my opinion. What we're doing is we're using our ability to provision different operating systems and different workloads to the dedicated server to offer a private cloud experience inside a hosted environment, where you get the benefits of the service provider's infrastructure being available to you to scale out your cloud, but you still get all the benefits of running and managing your own cloud as a single-tenant environment.
Okay, so let's get to the meat of it. How's it different than some of the other people out there pitching similar stories?
The people that talk about, at least the service providers that talk about private cloud, are really talking about carving up a piece of their public cloud for you. Mm-hmm. We do the same thing. SoftLayer's had a single-tenant offering that we, wrap the term private cloud around. What we really meant by that was, and what the other providers mean by that, is that they will make sure that you are the only tenant on that particular dedicated server. But you're still operating within that cloud's environment. You're still consuming the resources on the cloud service provider's terms. You're not designing your own virtual machines. You're not in control of the hypervisor. You're not in control of the underlying hardware. With this concept, what we've done is we've taken, and we're starting with Citrix Cloud Platform, which is built on the Apache CloudStack project, and we're putting that on top of dedicated servers and handing control of the dedicated servers as well as the cloud orchestration engine over to the customer, putting them in complete control of it.
So I find interesting. You mentioned that you're using cloud, the cloud.com or whatever they call it these days, CloudStack. And there's been a recent sort of falling out between the sort of OpenStack group and the CloudStack group. One saying that, I guess, the cloud stack being described as monolithic. What are your thoughts? Because you are one of the few that seem to have stuck by the cloud stack guys.
So both projects, CloudStack and OpenStack, and the other players, Eucalyptus, Nebula, what have you, vCloud, they all have their own niche. So some of the great things about Cloud Platform are that it's mature, it's been around for years, it's in production environments today, it's been in production environments for years, it's got a great GUI, our customers will have no trouble managing their own private cloud based on CloudStack. OpenStack is great in other ways. OpenStack is a veritable Swiss Army knife of tools.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you can configure OpenStack to any variety you want, which is a great thing for someone who wants to customize their cloud to the nth degree. But the bad thing about it is, for a service provider trying to deploy a standard offering, there's no such thing as a standard OpenStack deployment today.
Okay. Just wait a second. Just want to check this. Okay. Continue. Sorry.
That's all right. So those are two big differences. So yes, the cloud stack may be a little more monolithic, maybe a fewer options. Sorry, not maybe. There are fewer options available in cloud stack and OpenStack, but it's more mature. And I think having that maturity, as a service provider, having to have a product, I need something that's stable, mature, and is trusted. OpenStack is getting there. We're big fans of the OpenStack Swift project on the storage side. We run our own OpenStack Swift object storage product.
Okay.
So, excellent product. We have nothing but rave reviews for it. OpenStack Compute, the Nova project, is getting there. I think with the latest release, they made a lot of strides. The next one that's going to come out in December is, from all appearances, is going to solve a lot of the concerns about having maturity. So we're definitely keeping an eye on it. Our launch of the CloudStack private cloud is really just going to be the first of many.
So I actually have an interview with the general manager of Citrix's cloud division at 3 this afternoon. What sort of questions should I be asking in terms of their platform and direction? Maybe things you like or don't like. Any comments?
What would be really interesting if you asked them about their roadmap, to try to get a feeling for how they're going to manage the commercial interest that Citrix has in CloudStack, and try to align that with the community interest, and how they're going to align the two possibly differing goals. So how's the project going to come up with features that Citrix wants while still coming up with features that the community wants?
Interesting. There's also been a lot of talk in our space of kind of hybrid, federated. I obviously with my company, I attempted to do a spot market for cloud computing. What are your thoughts around the idea of these kind of marketplaces, distributed kind of components, like I said, federated kind of cloud computing?
I love them all. As an infrastructure provider at heart, anything that makes technology more accessible to the end user is great for everybody. The more technology people use, the more infrastructure they need, the more players like SoftLayer, Rackspace, Amazon, we all benefit from those trends. So that's actually a great thing. So that Amazon's marketplace is a wonderful thing. It's actually making technology easier to consume. And I think you'll see other service providers follow that model to really make their products easier to consume for the end user.
So it's almost like let 1,000 clouds bloom, and the rising tide will benefit us all. Although the reality in the space seems to be that for all these cloud offerings that service providers are building and launching, Amazon still dominates, and so someone was saying that in terms of revenues, they in the IaaS space, Amazon accounts for something like 90%, and then the rest of us fight over the 10. Do you agree with that, or you think that that's going to change?
I think it'll change over time. I mean, Amazon's going to be the dominant player for a decade, forever, for the immediate time scale. But that 10% or whatever the number is still huge. The demand for this type of service is still rising daily, and I think that different players will have different strengths. Amazon's going to be great at some things, SoftLayer's been good at some, Rackspace is going to be good at others, and customers who want to have their own private cloud and manage it for themselves are going to have a whole different take on it, and they're going to be able to design their own cloud to satisfy their own needs if they don't find what they need in the marketplace.
Okay, well, Nathan, it's been a pleasure to speak with you today.
I've enjoyed this too.
I appreciate taking the time to tell us more about your product. Where can our listeners learn more about what you're doing?
On our website, we've got softlayer.com/private clouds.
And you're on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. Actually, the best place to go is to @SoftLayer on Twitter.
All right. Well, thanks again. Looking forward to hearing more about what you guys are up to in the future.